That's right, Sophia. As the 4th of July approaches and COVID restrictions lift, travelers come and flood the Isle of Palm beaches, which also means safety and traffic precautions have to be taken to celebrate the holiday. The Charleston County Parks and Recreation Commission wants you to count on nature. Their new program is encouraging guests to come and tour different parks in the Low Country. Yes, Caroline, I'm right here on James Island in the intersection between Wapoo Drive and Hinson Avenue, where the large tree that you can find right behind me fell down last night, following the damaging strike from Tropical Storm Elsa. That's right, Sophia. South Carolina falling behind the national goal, with only 48% of its state population having received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Heavy traffic and delays for 10, 20 or even 30 minutes are some of the complaints we received from Charleston drivers. The cause? Trains that stop at intersections. We looked into the laws that protect drivers from heavy traffic, and what we learned is that rail is king. That's right, Caroline. South Carolina Safety Patrol says the number of traffic fatalities for the first 6 months of this year is higher than the total number for 2020. Ponds, puddles, or any other kind of standing water can act like a magnet for mosquitoes. In honor of National Mosquito Awareness Control Week, we talked to the experts so you know how to fight the bite. We have access to never-before-seen case files under the Freedom of Information Act. They are shedding a light on Mallory Beach's death investigation. 911 calls, body cam videos, and police statements detail the underage drinking that investigators say played a part in the 2019 Beaufort County boat crash.
What bridge is it? Paul, what bridge is this?
911, where's your emergency?
We're in a boat crash on Arthur Street.
This is the phone call from February 24th, 2019 that led investigators to the fatal boat crash.
There's 6 of us and one is missing.
Who's missing?
Female Mallory Beach is missing.
Okay.
First responders arrived to the scene to find a 17-foot open fisherman had crashed against the Archers Creek Bridge pilings. Evidence from the investigation shows Paul Murdoch, seen here in surveillance footage, bought beer and other alcoholic beverages before getting on the boat. He is later seen with his friend Connor Cook buying shots at a dockside bar. A police statement from one of the passengers in the boat shows both Cook and Murdoch were intoxicated. Another one says both men were in the captain's seat horseplaying until the throttle was slammed and the boat crashed. One of the boat passengers details in an interview Paul's behavior after law enforcement agents arrived.
He got into the officer's face and was like, "You think that you're like a bigger man than I am," and all this kind of stuff, and was just like, "I need to like get out right now." And then
Paul was having this conversation with the officer?
The police officer. He was like in his face, like cussing at him, like being very rude.
Statements from ER nurses show Paul was, quote, belligerent, intoxicated, and uncooperative. Other staff members from the hospital stated Paul's father, Alex, was attempting to go in other patients' rooms. One report saying he told Cook that, quote, they were going to figure everything out. And a last report states a nurse believed he was orchestrating everyone. In June of this year, Paul Murdoch and his mother were found shot dead. Following his death, the state attorney general dropped all charges against him. The investigation on Mallory Beach's death is still undergoing. Officials are still working to figure out who was behind the wheel driving the boat that morning. That's right, Sophia. As the 4th of July approaches and COVID restrictions lift, travelers come and flood the Isle of Palm beaches, which also means safety and traffic precautions have to be taken to celebrate the holiday.
Good to be kind of quasi-normal again.
Tourists are preparing to celebrate this weekend, and with less COVID restrictions, this means more traffic in the surrounding beaches.
So we do anticipate that we'll have a large crowd. It is 4th of July. It's typically a very busy weekend for us. There's going to be traffic that will build up, and you just got to be patient with us.
Isle of Palm's police department anticipates thousands of travelers, making it easier for children to get lost in the crowd.
Picture your kids before you come out. Make sure you know exactly what they're wearing, and have a place where if anybody gets lost, that they know to come back to.
Isle of Palm's Police Chief Cornett says more patrols will be used to ensure everyone's safety during the weekend.
We'll have police out in force for beach patrol, for traffic enforcement, and for increased calls for service.
Public safety suggests motorists to slow down in secondary roads, as children and pedestrians could be in the way, while Mayor Carroll reminds tourists about the city's safety measures.
Remember, there's no fireworks and Isle Palms allowed, no styrofoam allowed, no plastics allowed, no smoking on the beach, no drinking on the beach. But I mean, I hate to say no, but in fact, we want people to come out and have fun. It's a family beach.
Travelers can also download the Beach Reach app to check with real-time traffic cameras if the roads are free and to check traffic before hitting the road.
Hoping people just start to, again, be smart, but also feel just great about life again.
Police Chief Cornett also reminds travelers to keep track of your children at all times. Keep valuables secured and, of course, do not leave any trash behind in the beaches. From Isle of Palms, Esteban Reina, Count on 2.
Now, Count on 2, live and local in the Lowcountry. This is News 2 Midday.
The 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympic Games are taking place as we take a live look from Tokyo, Japan, the number of COVID cases being reported and how Americans are supporting our Olympians. Plus, tenants of City of Charleston provided housing are reporting problems with their homes. What some of the complaints have been. And 2 South Carolina lawmakers are leading a discussion on the open carry law just weeks before the new law goes into effect. Good morning. Thanks for joining us for News 2 Midday. I'm Esteban Reina. Happening right now, local activists are meeting with tenants and former tenants of the City of Charleston's Housing Authority to discuss what they are calling dangerous living conditions. Mold, water leaks, water damage, and residents evicted during the pandemic. Charles's House is holding a press conference right now on Nassau Street to address the issue. Goose Creek City Council will hold a workshop tomorrow. It will be at the Goose Creek Fire Department starting at 6 p.m. They will discuss the location and expansion of industries and businesses served by the city. They will also discuss proposed contractual agreements and selling and buying property. Happening Wednesday, State Representatives Wendell Gilliard and Marvin Pendarvis are hosting a discussion on the open carry law that goes into effect next month. They will meet at the North Charleston Council Chambers from 1 to 3 p.m., but the meeting will be live streamed on Representative Gilliard's Facebook page. The 2 state lawmakers will also be joined by Lowcountry leaders, including North Charleston Police Chief Reggie Burgess and Charleston Police Chief Luther Reynolds. Also happening Wednesday, Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. The exhibition will be hosting an Act of God social. The event is set to start at 7 p.m. at the Charleston Festival Hall. The exhibit showcases the Renaissance artist's greatest works, to include the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Happening today, it's Media Day for the Southern Conference football season. It will start at noon in Asheville, North Carolina at the Biltmore State. Head coaches, including the Citadel's Brent Thompson, will discuss the upcoming season. And the science behind the Winter Olympic sport of curling. Meteorologist David Dixon dives into the world of physics in this week's Moment of Science. Plus, a live look at Tokyo, Japan, as the Tokyo Olympics continue this morning. And while athletes from around the world continue to compete, the government is keeping tabs on the number of COVID-19 cases.